Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And it is that wonderful time for the Cream of the Stream podcast. We have a wonderful guest today by the name of Lazyboyzworld. Plays a lot of variety, plays a lot of Dead by Daylight. He plays that Neo 2 Binding of Isaac. You might have seen him around. He's pretty much a badass. He's got a fantastic beard. He's a phenomenal guy. Every time I see him, I'm like, Lazy, he's a great dude. I hope you guys are ready for him to come on here. Let's give it up for him. Here he is, Lazy.
What's up? What's going on?
How you doing, Lazy?
I'm doing great. How about you? What's going on?
Oh, I'm just living the dream.
Oh, yeah.
It's glad to see you out and about. It's glad to talk to you like in real time, because
Oh, yeah.
you're another one of those people that I see all the time, but I've never actually played games with or actually have seen you or actually get to talk to you in like a voice chat type scenario.
Yeah, we just
That's
pretty
great.
much run the same circles. So, yeah, just finally to sit down and do our thing. Yeah, it's been great.
So you've watched the podcast before, and you kind
Uh,
of know where we start. So we start
yeah.
from the beginning. And where'd you grow up? How was childhood?
I grew up in Portland, so the Pacific Northwest, and it was okay. It was not. I'll say it was not great. But there were some like bad moments, hit or miss, and because being raised up in a single parent household, my mom was like doing her thing and trying to take care of like for kids, and not really working out, and so basically we bounced from like place to place to place, and from like babysitter to babysitter to babysitter, and working through that system. And there's I'll say there was not a lot of great people that go through that system, and there were some good ones, but a lot of them were bad, and having to deal with that was like physically jarring, especially at a young age.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you've heard me talk about this. My wife's a counselor, so she gets a lot of people that come in, that have some issues, with, parental guidance and everything else.
Yeah.
And it's bad. It's a bad deal. The system's definitely broken.
And I'm thinking, wait, how did why are they in the system? How they get, like, they should have been like written off a long time ago. Like, nope, the bad place, do not send anybody over here. And like one particular was when like one of them had like a stick about having kids inside the house. They can have her own kids. She had her own kids inside the house, but when it came to other people's kids, you could not set one foot inside the house. So we spent like every physical moment outside, rain, shine, it could be snowing outside, and we basically were there until like 1 o'clock in the morning, waiting for my mom to get off work just to pick us up. So yeah, we were just like, I'm like, nope. Please don't go send us back there. Please don't send us back there. And they're like, okay, well, we'll go somewhere else. And so yeah, we spent like maybe 2 days there, and we're like, nope, never again, never again.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but
Yeah,
it seems like you and I just found out that Lofi's your brother. I just found that out. Like, and that blows my mind. And I mean, you two were great people. I love seeing you guys around, and Lof is hilarious, and you're hilarious. And like I was telling you earlier, your alerts completely crack me up.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Portland, and are you still there, or did you guys move?
No. What ended up happening was like as soon as I got to high school, I basically like did the whole high school thing, and then I joined the military, and then I deployed, went to Georgia, came back to Oregon for a little bit, but then I moved to Texas like 6 years ago. So I've not haven't been back to Oregon since.
Honestly, you look like you could be in Texas. Like,
Yeah.
that definitely looks believable.
Oh yeah.
Like if you would have came in here and you'd been like, yeah, Texas born and raised, I'd be like, yeah, yeah, I could see that. I
Oh
could
yeah,
see
you
you
definitely.
driving really fast and pushing people off roads and
Oh
everything
yeah.
else. Yeah, Texas is insane. Like I remember going there and we actually got one of our dogs from there because we used to live in Louisiana and we went over to Beaumont to pick up our dog Yoshi.
Oh
And
okay.
he was a little puppy, and I remember driving 75, which I think the speed limit was 80, and I didn't know that. And there was people flying by me going 90, like shaking their fists, like "What are you doing?" Like
Yeah.
it's a new world over there.
Yeah. Um. Even the cops are kind of like that. They'll push you off the road if we're going too slow, and you'd be going 90. It's happened before. I was driving from San Antonio to Austin, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's like nobody on the road. I'm going 90, and I'm in the fast lane, and I'm pushing, going faster, and there's a person that fly up to me. He's flashing his head beams behind me, and I'm like, "What's this guy doing?" And I move over, and then he just flew past me, and it was a cop, and he's going at least 110.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, "Oh my god,
yeah. You definitely
yeah,
can't be driving a beater in Texas because
no."
you have to drive fast. You have
Oh.
to. So do you like Texas more than you like Portland?
Uh, I would say I've had a better experience like the last 6 years here. Well, not so much Dallas, but like San Antonio and Austin than I did when the last few years I was there in Portland. Yes.
That's awesome. I've got a homie that lives in Dallas, and he's been like begging me to move there, and I can't convince the wife to do it. And
I would say like Fort Worth is a little bit better than Dallas, but yeah, if you want people to like drive crazy and like run you off the road, then yeah, move to Dallas.
yeah, that's pretty cool though. I mean, so you started when did you get into video games? Have you guys always been into video games?
um, well, like we had like I think we started with like PlayStation, but we really couldn't like afford a lot of the games, so we just got like maybe one or two of the games at the time, and like the first few games we actually got was like Resident Evil. Resident Evil was like the first like few games that I really got into, and so the survival horror like just clicked with me. So I basically would bounce from like there to like Dino Crisis to like Silent Hills, those type of games. But yeah, we just love those types of video games, and that's what like, and we bounced from like that to like the Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64 was like my pride and joy. That was my like my gaming system right there, and yeah, just playing. I would say GoldenEye was like the most game I put the most money into. I love that game. The game was awesome.
Dude, I've actually been thinking about picking up a bunch of N64s and like having, people just like linking up and us just playing like old night together. If there's a way, I don't think there's a way to system link it, because like they didn't have that option back then.
No,
It was just like a four-player, one screen. But I've honestly been thinking about getting an N64 just to play that game because it still holds up. It's still a lot of fun. Obviously, it's clunky, but like it's
yeah,
still so much
it
fun to
was
play.
it was not like the 4v1. It was the bots that you can put in there. I would put like the hardest bots you can put it in the GoldenEye, and just try to survive the onslaught when it came to those bots on GoldenEye, and
So
pick
what
up
got
the.
you? No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say picking up the gold on the golden gun. The golden gun was like my jam right there, and I love the golden gun. Golden gun was great.
Well, yeah, because you could hit him anywhere and it would kill him, right?
Exactly, it was
That's
a
why.
one hit. But look out if they got it.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember playing with some buddies like in kindergarten, and these are people that I don't even like associate with or talk to anymore. But like I remember having a fantastic time with them playing
Yeah,
that game. You do the big head add-on
No,
where your head's
yeah.
massive and stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
big head mode, exactly. Infinite ammo, yeah. You pretty much put like any cheat codes, because you're like a Game Shark, and you put the game in the Game Shark in there, and it give you like so many cheats on there. It was great. It was fantastic.
So after that, what did you progress to after you've got the N64?
I would say like I pretty much stuck with I went to like Dreamcast. I played a little bit of the Dreamcast. There were some games that were good on the Dreamcast, but like my personal favorites out of the whole Resident Evil series was Code Veronica, and it came to the Dreamcast, and it was only for the first the Dreamcast, and then they ported over to um the PlayStation 2, I think, 2 or 3 around there. But yeah,
Mhm.
it was just it was a great system. I enjoyed the hell out of it, especially like the House of
See,
the Dead series.
that's
Our
what was
time,
cool though. Is like Dreamcast was like ahead of their time, you know, like because they had like the little monitor, you know, and everything and the controller. And I feel like it didn't do very well just because it was so ahead of its time.
hmm
Like if that would have came out like a few years later when everything was getting more technical, I feel like that console would have blew up. But there's a lot of people who didn't even play Dreamcast and they don't even know
no,
what it is.
no, and I think because a lot of the times the games that they poured on there were on-rail shooters, and that's pretty much what the Dreamcast was known for, especially like Time Crisis and House of the
Yeah.
Dead. Those games, that's what the Dreamcast was like known for. And like that's what a lot of people are like, I don't like on-rail shooters. So, well, I'll go back to the PlayStation and go from there.
So then how did you get into streaming?
How did I get into streaming? Well, like my final year in the military was I hated it, and I was looking for like an outlet because I was ready to like pretty much leave the military. I only had like a few months like left, and I I pretty much started streaming in like 2018, and then I got like started like with Evil Within. That was the first game I ever played, and I bombed. I was miserable, and I'm like I hated the content. I hated with the way I sounded. I just pretty much hated everything about it, and I'm like, and I pretty much lasted maybe a month, and then I quit. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. This is not for me. This is not meant to be. And so I just basically went back to the workforce, and yeah, I just went back to working at Costco for a little bit, and then I knew that wasn't feasible because I was living in Dallas and working in Austin, and I was like, nope, I can't like travel. So I was living out of a suitcase for like months, and I'm like, I'm gonna be broken for a while. So I basically started driving truck for about a year,
Well,
and
let's
then
back up. You said you were in the military, which first off, thank you for your
yeah,
service.
yeah,
And you went to the military straight after high school, and then that's whenever
yeah,
you entered the workforce.
yeah. Basically, I joined around high school because my mom was like knew that I pretty much had like no direction or purpose, and I really didn't because like when I started high school, I was miserable, and because a lot of people, the high school I went to didn't like me for some reason. Like I gave that vibe, and so like I hated the first few years. Didn't do much. Didn't have a goal. Didn't have anything going forward, and so I just like I pretty much started lashing out, and I'm like, well, this is not good. I should not be lashing out at people, and so like when I transferred schools, I was still in that zone, and people were like, whoa, 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 hold on. What the? Oh my. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. That damn it, jerk. uh, uh, yeah, Jericho gave a shot at somebody, and my alerts are still working. I don't know why my alerts are working, but yeah, my bad, my bad. Oh my god,
That's all right.
I'll be back
Your
in a second.
alerts are hilarious. So that's
Yeah,
a good way to get interrupted.
It's a good way to get interrupted, but yeah. Oh, like I was saying, high school, yeah. I went to a different school, and people were like very kind to me, and I was not used to that because the way I was treated before, and so um and they're like, whoa, calm down, why are you doing this? And they're like, okay, this is new. And so I started having fun, but the school I went to was like an alternative school, and I'm like, never heard of an alternative school, but when it came but I went to this one, and teachers were great, the students were great, so I had fun. I started like doing sports. I started watching anime and manga like during like high school, but then they didn't have like structured classes. They just basically like it was all about their artistic freedom and going from and pretty much expressing yourself. And so, but like they didn't have like homework or anything like that. But so my mom's like, well, you can't really go to college because you have like no nothing to fall back on for high school. So I could either but because I know you're not motivated to do anything, so I'm just I could either like kick you out or you join the military. And I'm like, well, I can't be homeless. So
Damn.
yeah. Love with me went to the same school. I basically I actually graduated. I think like, you know what? I'm gonna get my high school diploma. I got my there, and I joined the military like right at 19, and I didn't know what to expect and what was going on, and it's like chaos. Like the first day, people were like faking seizures to get out of going there. It was like a frat house, but everybody dressed the same, and so like it was just like, what did I get myself into? And I met some great friends like right off the bats. I'm still friends with a bunch of them right now. Some of them like here in yeah. It, yeah, I joined high school, and I was in there for 15 years, and I'm still like great friends with like with a lot of them. A lot of them live here in Texas, and some of all over the world. But yeah, it was just I joined the National Guard like after duty, and then I was in the National Guard for 12 years, and I was in the National Guard until 2018, and then I got out January 2019.
So you were in the military for 12 years?
No, I was in for 15, but the National Guard for 12 and active duty for 3.
Damn, that's a long time. Again, thank you for your service. See,
Uh,
how old are you then? You don't look that old.
I'm 37.
37. You don't look that old.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking like maybe 31, like maybe getting ready to hit 30, you know? I mean, yeah, you got a little grayness in your red beard, but I mean, it doesn't look that bad, you know?
Nah.
So
Nah.
what were you saying?
I know that's a great thing about the beard. It makes me look younger, but yeah, I'm pretty much the same age as Danny. That's why me and Danny click because we're both been in the military the same amount of time, and it was her and Rennie Man that I pretty much got started watching Twitch and getting into Twitch, and yeah, but I pretty much when I got done and out of the military, I was pretty much was reckless. I'm like, well, okay, where do I go? And so I basically started to enter the workforce and pretty much working any job I can.
So what did you work after that? Did you just like do like
Uh,
retail?
I did like the first job, like right out of the military. I forget what the company was called, but I was moving trailers, picking up trailers and moving them around in this lots and like camper trailers.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, but I didn't last very long because like I was not great at that job because I'm like I, ba- I barely drove when I was before I joined, but I pretty much first vehicle I drove was an MTV. It's an up armored vehicle for the military. So I'm like, yeah. Also, I was not used to driving normal size cars, and but yeah, so I kind of got a few accidents while I was there. So like they immediately fired me for doing that, and I'm like, oh great. So I went from there to working a call center for like ACS for like Sprint and Altel, and I was working the billing section on there, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a jarring experience because yeah, I hated the work at that call center.
I've never heard anybody work at a call center and said that they love it.
Oh, it wouldn't be so bad if people like understand the structure of how that company worked, because when Sprint and Altel was like a long time ago, Altel was a company and Sprint and Altel merged. And when it came to like the voting between Sprint and Altel was voted like the best company bar none in the country. And Sprint was like dead last. And when they merged, Sprint became dead last. And so when people called in and they had an Altel phone and they get a Sprint um, call center like me, I was working the Sprint side. They were like, "Hey, I got a problem with my phone. Like I've been texting up of a storm. I got unlimited data, but my phone bill is like $700." And I'm like looking at it, so it's like, well, somebody has put a Sprint um, identifier, a Sprint code in your thing, and you got an Altel. That's why it's not working. And sometimes like people's like, yeah, it's like, well, I can't actually help you. I got to send you over to an Altel um, customer service representative. It's like, no, no, no. It's like, don't transfer me. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I can't really work on this. They have to work on it. And it's like, I've been on hold for like 2 hours, and I'm like, oh, my bad. And it's like, yeah, I suck. And then I always get like some people hang up on me, and and I got chewed out so many times by people like and yeah, it was just great. And yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. My brother worked for a call center for a while, and
Yeah.
it was for dentists. It was for some equipment that they had, and he would tell me that every one of these guys that would call him, or gals, he said that they
Yeah.
just since they went to school and had a degree, they would just treat him like shit. They just treated him like an idiot,
Mm-hmm.
and he would run through the steps and the procedures of what to do, and they're like, oh yeah, 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 I tried that, yeah, yeah, I know. So he was like, I'm just doing my job. I don't know what you want from me. But literally anybody I've ever talked to that's worked in that situation
Mm-hmm.
has not enjoyed it. Really,
Oh yeah.
regardless of pay.
I've been, it's like people are coming in and like, hey, are you calling me an idiot? I'm like, no, I'm not calling you an idiot. And it's like, you just did it this way, and that's the end result. It's like, but you're still calling me an idiot. I'm like, no, I'm not calling you an idiot. He's like, let me talk to your manager. I'm like, okay. Transfer them over. It's like, yeah, I got another irate customer. Especially when it came to like they have like numbers, and they're like, you got to keep the call like 8 minutes, and they're like 8 minutes, but sometimes those phone calls last 30 minutes. Like, why is this phone call lasting 30 minutes? And I'm like, well, he's busy chewing them out. I can't like as soon as he starts like cussing, I could probably hung up on. He hasn't cussed me out yet. He's still cussing me out, but not actually cussing me out. You're like, okay, all right. But it's like, you got to sit there and listen to it the whole time.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like dealing with people. Like that's why I hate it. I used to work at a gas station, like before I started my adventures and stuff. That's where I
Yeah.
started, and dealing with people is terrible. Like dealing with like the local populace and everything. It's just, ugh, get chewed
Yeah.
out for no reason at all.
Yeah, that's why I drive truck. I don't deal with customers. I deal with like some of the employees that work there, and then they could be just as dumb. But that's a whole other ball game. I'm like, I turn the managers. I'm like, really? He works here? Really? And he's like, yeah. You're like, okay,
So you're good friends with Queen of Flannel,
yeah.
and you're always in her chat and everything. And you said she's the one that brought you over to Twitch.
Well, I was. The funny thing was, I was. My brother is like heavily into watching Running Man's channel, and so I'm like, okay, I want to see like what the big deal is. He's a great content creator. I'm like watching him. Okay, damn, he's funny as hell. Great personality. And I'm like, okay, so I'm like venturing out, trying to checking out other people's channels, and I checked her out, and I loved her content. And it was right. I think it was right around like Christmas time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling good. I'm like, name a few people that you think I should like donate a bunch of gift stuff to, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, and he immediately named Danny and Doug. I'm like, okay. So I just dropped 50 on both of them, and they're like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah. And so that's pretty much like a tradition I kept ever since. And
That's awesome.
I pretty much do that every year. And I'm like, I felt good about that, like giving back to other people's channels. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pretty much, if I'm going to use my vehicle for anything, it's pretty much to give back to other streamers, to other content creators, and that's pretty much my primary focus being. Love you,
So
okay?
so talking about your emotes. So what made you go with the Ed emote?
One of the like things that like got one of the things that got me through high school was like the Cartoon Network. And I'm like, I love Ed and Eddie. I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog. There was a few other ones that like Dexter's Laboratory. Those were like what got me through it. And I was thinking of like emotes to use, and that was the first one that popped up. And I got used. Of course, I got to use this one, and there was like an episode. One of my favorite episodes was the Curse of the Slab one. So I quote that up pretty much every time other people's channel. Like return the slab. That whole. I got that one, but basically I changed the order of the curses. I put the red beard. So anybody gets cursed, they get like the red beard, and the other one was the Aziz. I put the Aziz on there for they put them to sleep, and then I put the other one on there. I'm trying to remember what the third one was, but oh yeah, the error message. Yeah, so I put an error message where it crashes whatever system you're working on.
So yeah, if we're gonna talk about Cartoon Network, we could be here for a while.
Oh yeah, we could definitely be here for a while.
I loved Cartoon Network, man. I loved Johnny Bravo. I used to watch Johnny Bravo all the time.
Johnny Bravo was
always
good.
Watch Courage, and I mean, like there was a bunch of just one hitter shows on there that were just fantastic. Which is kind of funny because you watch the shows nowadays that are on there, and you're like, this is stupid. How do you guys like this? And then you remember all the stupid stuff that you watched as a kid.
Pretty
you're
much.
like,
it's like, Yeah, like Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, Ren and
Yeah,
Stimpy was
yeah,
great. Ren and Stimpy got me through a lot of tough times as well. But it was things what like cartoon. They used to have like a cartoon showcase, and Courage, Billy and Mandy, and I think Ed and Eddie were on there for a little bit before they had their own show. They're like, oh, we're going to showcase new shows. You vote on what you want, and people would vote in
yeah.
like, oh, we want this one. So they gave them a TV show, and I'm happy for that they actually brought these shows to the forefront. I'm like, oh yes, that is what I'm talking about.
Oh,
It's
and
like,
Cow and Chicken. That was
yeah,
another one. I think that was
yeah,
on there.
yeah, Cow and Chicken. I think Rocco's Modern Life. Uh, what was it? All Real Monsters. Those were awesome TV shows.
Which what was it that Rocco's actually made a movie like
Yeah.
last year, and it
Uh,
was it definitely brought back some nostalgia. You watched it and you're like, okay, this is strange. Rocco in modern life, it's like it's definitely changed. It's not the '90s anymore. That's cool,
oh
and
yeah,
it's interesting. It was good.
yeah. Did they like update? I think they like updated the intro to like more modern. And I'm like, okay, this works. I'm like, okay, I got that reference. I got. Yeah,
It's
but
definitely interesting. We
oh
are
yeah,
we are
definitely.
kind of getting off track though, but that's
Yeah,
that's okay
exactly.
because it's about cartoons.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Exactly. It's all about the cartoons. It's all about the cartoons.
so in your moderating system, how do you pick out mods?
How do I pick out mods? A lot of
Yeah.
times, I usually like pick my friends most of the time as mods. Like the when I returned to streaming, it was like two of the people that pretty much pushed me through and like, hey, this is what I want to do, and that was Satanic, and that was Jericho. But those two were like pretty much there since day one when I got there, and so I'm like, I made them. They're the first two mods I made, and then I made Army. I made him mod, and Sasha, I made her mod, and so pretty much me and her get along great because we're like huge wrestling fans. So pretty much that's how I pick my mods.
What about VIPs?
VAPs, pretty much the same thing. People that like I mesh with like it's like Rose, like Yosuke, like Teddy, uh, like Paul. Those guys are like who I pick as like my VAPs, like people that I get along with that are my friends. Like I consider my friends, and yeah, I just like, oh yeah, okay, you've been here long enough. We gel, we mesh. Definitely VIP.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you're gonna keep playing variety, or are you gonna like hard commit to a game?
Not. I'm probably gonna like keep variety. I thought like a while ago that I should like. I thought about just picking a street, just like pick a game. But I'm like, no. I get like personally, I get bored with some games, and like Dead by Daylight. Like I love Dead by Daylight, but there's the times I play it. It's pretty much a lobby simulator. So I'm like, no, I can't really play this, and so I'll just pick a game that I'm good that I know I'm gonna be good at, like Apex. Apex, like I pretty much picked that game up recently, and I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at it. I mean, granted, there's a lot of times where I pretty much forward a bunch of stuff, but hey, it comes with the it comes with the territory.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
Yeah,
I'm not too bad at DBD, but I do stupid plays every once
yeah,
in a while. Like last night
yeah.
when I was playing with Ganny, I actually went for a CJ Tech, and I got downed right on top of Ganigus, and I was listening to his stream at the time, and he's just like, I love queso.
Yeah, exactly. Like Spundy. I love her. She's always fun to be around. Always great. And then, but she says like the first thing is like, I'm not great at this game. I'll probably be yelling in your ear. And sure enough, like first match in, she's like screaming like, what is shooting at me? And she's screaming. I'm like, yep. She warned me. And I'm like, okay, all right.
Good. Good
Oh yeah,
stuff.
oh yeah.
So what do you plan to do in the future?
What I plan to do in the future?
Like what are your goals for your stream?
I'm not sure at this point. I'm like, I'm having a lot of fun, and um, I, I, I would say partner, but I'm like nowhere near that goal. But I would say probably still branch out, uh, help a lot of other people on this on Twitch if they like need help, like getting that affiliate push or stuff like that. That's what like I enjoy doing, and yeah, probably keep doing that eventually.
That's good though. I mean, that's what a lot of the newer people I don't think that start streaming understand. It's like you're it's hard to do it alone. You know, you can.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's not possible, but like it's so much better to just make friends. That way people will actually start coming back, you know, and then if they have a community following themselves, they will actually try to help you out and they'll send some of their community over there. And that's one of the things that you kind of have to learn. You know, you have to be friends. You have to make
yeah.
friends and you have to make a community with other people's communities. You know, and it's really good stuff. I
Yeah,
said
that's what.
Ganigus and then
Yeah,
he showed up in chat. Look at him.
yeah, exactly. He's like, you say my name, and he pulled the cover over. Hey, what's up? And then he pulled back over. He's
Yeah.
like, hey,
I don't know if he knows what a CJ tech was, but that's definitely what I was going for
yeah,
last night, and then I just died right on him. I was like, ah, it's okay. It's okay.
exactly.
It
Yeah,
happens.
pretty much. But
That's
yeah, I always tell people like, hey, pick somebody to raid. It may be like somebody like around my range or lower, but somebody like it could be somebody brand new that like could have about like 100 followers or less, and I'm like, yeah, we'll raid them. Let's do it, and I'll raid them. I'll bring more people to their channel, and stuff like that. So I'm like, that's pretty much how I normally do things.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
But you've got a really good community. You know, anytime I jump in there, there's always a bunch of love,
yeah,
and you know everybody's always happy to see everyone, and you know you love to see that stuff. It's really good.
oh,
And that's kind of who the people I like to keep in my circle. I love people that have great communities. I love going in and actually just getting welcomed and everything else. It's a good feeling.
yeah. Because I've rated somebody, and then they're like, hey, and then they go back to what they're doing. I'm like, well, okay, they're nope, not rating them ever again. No, not. But yeah, there's a lot of great communities out there. I'm like, yep, okay, I can keep them back here. Like, there's another streamer that I recently rated called Red Riddler. Very welcoming, great dude, awesome content creator. That like, yep, I'm gonna keep coming back to this guy.
I'm just laughing because I just read Ganagus's comment. He says, "Can we rename it the Queso Tech?" I'm like, "Yeah, we we could rename it the
Yeah,
Queso Tech if it actually worked."
yeah, exactly. You just gotta plug it in to plug it back in. That's all you gotta do.
That's right. That's right. So about your games now. So you said that you're still playing variety. What's your most anticipated game that's coming up?
Um, I would. It's not. I'll see Resident Evil 8, but that's pretty much down the pike coming up a couple days. But I'll probably say like Elder Ring, whenever they come out with that. Hellblade 2. I enjoyed um, Hellblade, the first one, and um, but yeah, or it's not like necessarily a game, but it's an episode for Final Fantasy 7 remake. I'm looking forward to that. Play as Yuffie. It's always been fun, and I can't wait to get dive into new content with her. So that's what games I'm looking forward to.
So since you and your brother both stream, or do you guys ever collab? You guys ever like
Uh,
play games and stream together? Do you like a co-stream type thing?
we did like once or twice, but like nothing like constant because he like took a break from it, and then he recently came back, but like nothing like recently. No.
He's the king of pog doggers. I know that
Yeah.
that's always his title. He says pog
Pretty
dogs
much,
a lot.
he is. He is. Well, as a Dwight main, you have to be the king of the pog dog. So
It's a Dwight name. Damn. Ooh.
yeah, I know, right?
A lot of lockers in his future then.
Pretty much, exactly.
So right now we can take some questions from the community if you guys have any. If you guys
Yeah.
have any questions, go ahead and throw them in here. So you said you drive truck right now,
Yeah.
and you work full time then, or is this like a part-time thing?
I work full time. I pretty much stream full time and work full time, so I pretty much juggle both. But yeah, I drive for Swift, the king of the memes, the walking meme company. Yeah.
Well, I'll be buy me tendies. I mean,
Oh my.
I'm assuming you know who asked that.
Not Jericho. Yeah. No, he get his own tendies.
So now, okay. Chat's just memeing now. Do we have any? Orchid, what's up with the socks question? Why do you always ask what color socks they're wearing?
I'm not wearing
white
any
or
socks,
black socks. No socks. See, I'm
No.
not either. I like my slippers, man. Like,
Yeah,
if my
pretty
feet get
much.
hot, I take them off, and then they get cold, I put them back on. And then now Orchid's asking, will you buy me tendies?
No, you get nuggies and you like it.
Amy, what did I forget? Tell me, what's up? You judge people on the basis of the color of their socks. Oh yeah, I forgot to call you a nerd while we were live. Loki said to call you a nerd.
Oh yeah, right.
But
Oh yeah, you forgot about that. Exactly.
that's true. That's true. So do you plan on making a career change, or are you going to stick with the truck driving?
My original plan is to do about 5 years with Swift and then switch to like either like gas and oil tanker, because they make a lot of money doing that. But I need to get the license, or pretty much what I think it's like the license for it. But they're asking minimum like 3 years, which I'm at now. But
yeah, which I think you've got to have like some sort of hazmat training and everything for that.
Yeah,
you
got to have like a hazmat identifier like on your license to say, hey, you're licensed to drive this, and I need to like pass the course. So that's the one thing.
That's I don't know. That's brave. Like I don't think I would ever really like want to do something like that. Like, cause my dad drove truck for a while, and you know it was cool and everything else, and I'd go with him, and I'm like, this is great, Dad. This is cool. This is you. But I'm like, I never want to do it because like he's had too many bad things happen on the road, and I'm like, I'm not brave enough to do it. And since you're the professional driver, if something does happen and you run into somebody, just about regardless of the situation, it's your fault because you're the professional driver.
Oh, pretty
and
much.
I'm like,
but
I don't want that.
I think the worst thing about driving is that not only will the small trucks drive you off the road, the other semi drivers will drive you off the road. If you're driving too slow or you're driving in the wrong lane, they don't care. They'll flip you off and just like cut you off. You're like, oh, come on, man. We're on the same team here. Why are you doing this to me? I'm like, it's not like I actually go any faster, because they have like I forget what it's called. Like it regulates your speed. You can't go faster than 63. So I'm going 63 regardless of what speed I like. It could be 75. I'm going 63, and people are like honking and driving right past me, and I'm like, what do you want from me here? You know, I can't drive faster. Like,
this is what my truck's governed at. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. The governor will not let me go faster. I'm sorry. Just don't hurt me.
Dirt actually asks, it's not like streaming related, but it's still like a curious type of question. How many subs would it take to shave your beard?
Oh, yours was 100. To shave the beard completely.
No, I'm not doing that shit again. My price went up. It's not 100 anymore.
Oh, we go to like 200.
It's probably going to be like 500.
The
Because
500.
that was terrible. And
Yeah, I probably I don't think I have a price because I look terrible without the beard, so I'm just gonna keep it forever. But I probably like extreme keep it high, maybe 100 to like 200 maybe. But yeah, it's got to be ridiculously high before I shave it off.
well, that's good that you would actually shave your beard though. Like I didn't never planned on it. Like, that wasn't something I planned on. Just some random person in chat, some big streamer came in and
Well,
asked, and that's how that happened. So I got gifted 100 subs and I had to shave my beard and I had to look for like Farva for a few weeks. That's okay.
well,
Happens.
well, you can always have your Farva days. You're like, hey, I'm gonna be cosplaying as Farva.
Well, that's actually what I told her about. I was like, do I hard commit and like buy a trooper outfit and wear a
You
hat and
should.
everything and just call everyone a chicken fucker? Like I mean, I could have leaned into that really hard.
Yeah, just have like whenever you're like you get partner for yourself and you create a team, just call like Team Ramrod right there.
You didn't say it. I'm sorry. I'm
You just
sorry.
save it. Team Ramrod.
Did he mention? Did he mention partner? He said that
Yeah,
wasn't his end goal, Amy. But he said that if it happens, it happens.
yeah, it
That type
happens.
of
It happens.
scenario.
But I'm like the way I'm at now. But yeah, I'm way far from getting that. But I would love to get it. But yeah,
Orchid actually asked when are you gonna play, or no, Orchid didn't ask that. Amy asked when are you gonna play DBD with Queso, Orchid, and me.
ooh, um, I said that I was gonna play. Probably for sure play DBD when I hit 750, but that'll be probably another month or so.
I've got people coming in from your stream too that said that they can't hear me in your stream.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
get your
weird.
shit together, lazy. I'm just kidding. I had so many
Well,
audio problems and everything. Like I know it. I know the feeling.
well, it's like they, but they can see me in yours, but they can't see me in mine. It's like vice versa. But yeah, but when it comes to streaming, my stream is like create chaos. If there's not something that doesn't break, then it's not my stream. But yeah, it just like goes haywire half the time. So, but yeah,
So what do you do to bring it back whenever you start to have issues in your stream?
I usually yell and what the hell is going on. I like try a few things. I pretty much reset, like sometimes reset my computer, see if that works. Sometimes that works. And but yeah, I try to figure it out because a lot of times audio cuts out and let's see, weird. So maybe
Orchid, he answered the sock question. He said he's not wearing any.
yeah,
So we're assuming while he's streaming he doesn't wear socks.
yeah.
That's acceptable.
Like I could run and put.
He could totally wear thigh high socks if he
Yeah,
wanted to.
exactly.
I don't see why anybody would want to. As I've got
ankle.
long hairs on my legs, and I just see those getting caught in the socks whenever they
This
start going down, and that's just a bad deal. Do you wear socks ever? Is what she's asking.
I do. I do.
What color are they? Orchid,
White.
we got to get some better questions. Like this is ridiculous.
This is like the hard hitting questions that everybody needs to know. It is.
She does this every podcast I've ever done. She asks what color socks. She's like, I need to judge them. I need to judge them harshly on their sock preference. Okay.
You're wearing like toe socks?
No, I hate those. I hate sandals too. Like the sandals that have like the toe thong thing. I hate them. They're terrible.
Yeah, they are terrible.
What's your favorite anime?
Favorite anime? I would have to say probably Berserk. Berserk was like the go-to like manga anime that I enjoyed the hell out of, that I click. And it's pretty much the genre of games that I like and enjoy. That's why I like Dark Souls so much, because if people don't know, is that like the guy who created Dark Souls heavily got his inspiration from Berserk. So like all the themes, the weapons, anything like that, the monster creations, all from that manga.
No, Josh, what I was saying is I don't like the ones with the toe thongs. I like sandals. Like I've got some Van sandals that actually have like the strap over the top of your foot. I like that. But like the toe thong ones I ain't about. Goblin Slayer?
Yeah,
I don't
Goblin Slayer is a great one. Goblin Slayer is basically uh an anime about this guy who's actually, his name is Goblin Slayer. They have like who his primary goal is to kill goblins. Like he'll take no other quest, no other thing except for killing goblins. And
I think I've actually watched the first episode of that and I remember being like, wow, this is a show. You know, like I'm pretty sure I watched the first episode and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous.
yeah, no, it gets better, but like the first episode, yeah, it's pretty good.
What's your favorite kind of cheese?
Favorite kind of cheese, pepper jack, I would say. But yeah, I would say pepper jack. But I don't know. Uh, Oh, PC. Ah, no. Okay. Uh, but yeah, what's up? No, what's up? Yeah, for some reason my camera on this one works only with the thing, but not on here. But yeah, what's up? Let's see what I missed. Yeah, yeah, Paul. I'll make you VIP, so no worries. But yeah, thank you, 90, for the 3 sub and the 2 gift subs, man. I do appreciate that. Okay, okay. My bad, Kaz. I didn't see you raided. Thank you for the raid. No idea. Of course not. Hold on. Let's see. Let's try this. Okay. So until oh, thank you, Colored on Wax, for the follow. I do appreciate that. We'll wait.
Okay.
Oh, we're back. Guess
Yeah.
who's back?
Oh, 1 second. Let me. I'll have to go back live before we continue. Sorry,
No, no, it's all good.
I gotta get this
Hey,
stuff.
like that. Hey,
It
if
actually
like I
says
said,
we're still live, so I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. If nothing's breaking down in my channel, it doesn't feel right. So
Dude,
it's like it's
I hope you
perfect.
entertained the shit out of them the entire time I was away.
I did. I did. I danced a jig.
Yeah, so I'm assuming what happened since you were in the server, I kept the server live, so that's actually good.
Yeah.
That it crashed, but yet it's still going. That's pretty cool. That's a good feature. I've never had that happen before, so that's an interesting thing.
So, sorry, Bucket. It's okay. But yeah. I'm doing a podcast with Queso here, so that my bit alerts is off right now.
Yeah, a reminder for everyone that we actually don't have alerts going while we do the podcast because this is just about the streamer, so we try to keep everything off. So I appreciate the follows, appreciate the alerts, appreciate everything. But this is what we're here for.
Yeah.
I did have a question. Hold on.
But
There was a good question. Actually, my wife asked, "What's a piece of advice you'd give your younger self?"
I would say to like relax a little, because life's all about having fun. That life is too short to be pissed off about everything, and that like that what's happening in the moment will not last forever. And yeah, just have fun.
That's good. That's good advice. Well, what advice would you give a streamer starting out wanting to eventually be partner?
Eventually partner. I would say, like a lot of people, don't worry about failing. Failing is natural part of like streaming. That like I fail all the time, and that's what the number one concern a lot of streamers worry about is them failing. And people enjoy like natural reaction. If they're failing and you're laughing about it, they're laughing along with you. And that it don't matter what how much you have, rate everybody. A lot people worry about this, like, oh well, I only have like one person. It's like I shouldn't raid. Like, no, raid everybody. No, that's my thing is. But yeah, and talk with other people. See what made them tick. What worked for them. What doesn't work for them. Talk with everybody and get to know everybody, because we're a tight knit family. We're tight knit units, and that's pretty much the advices I would give.
Will you ever meet Jericho in real life?
Would I meet a Jericho? Definitely. He's only like 45 minutes away. Definitely.
You guys could have chicken tendies together.
No, pretty much.
Well, sorry about the problems we've been having. I don't know. My PC has been garbage lately. It crashed on me a couple times the other day, and it's bad. It's bad stuff.
Raid all the big streamers. We should raid all raid Orchid. Raid Orchid.
That's true. Orchid, big streamer.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any streamer you look up to and why? Good question.
That is a good question. I I'd probably say Satanic. Satanic is the person that I look up to. Yeah, we're great friends, but but he doesn't stream that much anymore. But everybody knows him, and he's tight knit with everybody. If like you want somebody to like have your back 100%, it's him. But yeah, great dude. And
yeah, that's the Satanic Mechanic.
Yes, Satanic Mechanic.
I didn't even know he streamed.
Yeah, he used to stream a long time ago, but he pretty much stopped because his wife got sick, and so he pretty much um, whenever that time comes around, he deals with that. He streams like once in a while, yeah, but he does Dead by Daylight. He does a lot of meme builds, but yes, I think the last time he streamed was like 2 months ago, but yeah, he's.
So him and I would get along great. You know,
Oh yeah,
that's my thing. I do a lot
yes,
of meme
him
builds.
you would get along great. He likes to say same type of humor, same type of jokes, and him I call him the Renaissance man. He dabbles in everything. He works on cars. He works on boats. He actually built restores classic cars. And but yeah, great dude.
That's super cool. That's super cool. Well, it looks like we don't have any more questions. Again, I'm
Yeah.
sorry about the inconvenience. One of these days, I'll be a real boy and get like a good PC and everything.
No, you're
and,
good, man. Like I say,
we won't have any problems.
No, you're fine,
And
man. It's great.
in closing, do you have any tips that you would like to give out? I know that we kind of went over some earlier, but
Man.
like just like a generalized tip that you would give to anybody. That's potentially in burnout or just started up.
I would say don't rush. Enjoy the ride of streaming because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You'll have your down days. Like I had them. I thought about quitting again about a year ago, and it was rough because I thought I wasn't like good enough for this, so I just basically sat there and wondering if I should just leave again and be done for good, or and or just like pick a game that I know that like will like bring in a lot of eyeballs, a lot of people in, not new people, a lot of new people that are like could be potentially great friends or like enjoy what I'm doing. But then I'm like, nope, I'll continue this grind. This might pass, and just meeting the right people, it's like night and day. And eventually, those people, the new people, will find that niche. Find your niche. That's what I always say. Find that works for you, and stick with it. It's a marathon. This whole thing's a marathon, not a sprint. You're not gonna get famous overnight, so. Unless you're like inevitable, like D or Ganny, those two were like inevitable. Like those guys were great from the very beginning, and so like or Dan, another great content creator. But yes, those guys were inevitable. Those guys were great. So, but yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
I dig that, man. So what are you doing
Yeah.
after the podcast? Are you gonna keep playing, or are you wrapping up?
Like I got tired, so I might take a nap. No, I'm kidding. I'll probably play a few games, but I'll probably like stream later. But I'm not sure. I gotta figure out what's wrong with my my audio on my stuff. So I'll probably fiddle around with that. But yeah. So Bind of Isaac, continue on that road.
All right, brother. I appreciate having you on here, dude. And you've had some great answers, and it's always a delight to just talk to you. And I'm glad that we finally got to talk in person and everything else.
Oh, definitely,
it's really good. And you're a great guy. I've always enjoyed your streams, and your beard game's strong. I mean, look at you.
Yeah. All right. No, it definitely, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll try to grow it longer. So like, just continue on, like, so just like be a ZZ Top beard. So I just like do magic tricks with it.
Yeah. I gotta say though, this is gonna be fun to edit because I've had so many problems. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing to this to actually make it YouTube ready. But that's okay. That's okay.
No, yeah, you'll be good. So no, I would keep it in its entirety.
just keep it with all the problems in it.
Exactly. Keep it all.
That's super good.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, brother, I love you. We're gonna send you off. I hope if you do
Yeah.
decide to take a nap, I hope it's a good one, and I hope to catch your stream later if you're on.
Yeah. Or could just start writing their own feature film called Socks the Movie. But yeah,
Orchid.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I'll catch you later. Have a good day, boss.
You too. You too. Later.
Bye. All right, you guys. That was Lazy. I'm glad that you guys came around. I'm sorry again for the problems that I had. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know the drill. Thank you. Give this a thumbs up, subscribe, and go ahead and join our Discord and recommend some people to us. Let's have a good ass time.